Hello, I'm Rexy Blue, and today I'm going to be ranking Arks Creeper Crawlies since it is the month of October, and that means it is the start of spooky season. I thought, why not just do this? I thought this would be a fun video to make, so yeah, here I am. Here are the, tier lists. It's basically just S tier, to F tier, and I just thought it'd be cool to give them, some, I don't know, spooky season names. So yeah, spooky is the best tier you can be in, and frightful is the worst tier you can be in. But anyway, let's start off with the video. So yeah, first off we have Cosmos, I believe, or no, I think he's a jumping spider. I think Cosmos is what a lot of people like to call him though. But these guys are really good. Basically, they are just like grappling hooks that you can use. I've personally never used these guys because I don't own Bob's Tall Tales, and these guys are in my pack. But again, you can use them as basically an infinite grappling hook, and you can use them as a light pet. You can you can use their, I don't know what you call it, their webbing as something basically what the light pets emit for Reapers. So you can use these guys to take down Reapers in the red zone, or if you're playing PvP, you find a hidden Reaper, you can use these guys to take that down. So yeah, I would say they're pretty good. I would give them B tier. I don't think they're really good when they're non-aberration. They shine, they literally shine in aberration. But other maps, I don't see why you would use a Cosmos over, because on other maps you can straight up fly. But I don't know, maybe you can use some other maps, but right now I'm going to put them in the blood-curdling tier. Next up, we have Titanoboa twice for some reason, don't know why. And unfortunately, Titanoboa is a very cool prehistoric animal, but an Ark, they're going to go in F tier or frightful tier. And I wish the Titanoboa would get a TLC soon. First of all, I think they need a remodel. They need to be bigger, I think. They need to be rideable, and they need some mechanic. Maybe they can wrap around creatures and knock them out or something, like a snake does. Something like that would be cool. I definitely think a TLC for the Titanoboa would be awesome, especially for the Halloween season. So yeah, but I doubt that's gonna happen. Okay, next we have Arthropleura. Arthropleura is going to be an S tier of a spooky creature. They are just really good for clearing out structures in PvP. They're used for clearing out spam. You can use them to clear out bases. You can also, if you have extremely good aim, you can use them to break armor on other players. But really, you're going to be using these guys to destroy bases, destroy spam. And it's really good because these guys are basically the only creature that can do it. And, the other alternative is using, explosives as before, which is going to take a lot of resources. So, Arthropleura is just a really good creature for that. But what is not that good of a creature is the Araneo. Araneo is basically a giant spider, but it's not good at all. I'm going to put him in Frightful. I can't really see of a reason why you would take an Araneo. Maybe just for its webbing, but, you can just use Ebola. You're using Ebola is going to be way better than and easier than taming an Araneo for its webbing. So yeah. Next we have the Occatina now. Occatina is kind of in a weird place because they make Occatina paste, which is basically cementing paste, but it only stacks up to 100. Now you could get multiple, but I think it would just be easier to raid beaver dams. I guess if there's no beaver dams on the map you're playing on, then these guys would be useful. Although I think beaver dams are on most maps, anyway. But I'm gonna give him C tier because you could make an Occatina farm, and maybe it's D tier. I'm gonna keep him C tier for right now. I'm tempting to put him D tier, but I don't know. I'll see what else I put in C tier. Next we have Raninata, easily S tier. These guys, they fly. In Evolved they're pretty quick. In Ascended they're nerfed, but they're still pretty fast in Ascended. Unfortunately, when you're carrying animals though, now it is very nerfed in its speed, but they're still really good. They can carry around actual structures. They've got quite a bit of health for a flyer, especially for a creepy crawly or bug. And yeah, no, these guys are really good. They of course have their saplings, whether they can shoot and freeze creatures even the size of a Giganotosaurus. I'm not sure if they can do a Titanosaurus. I haven't tested that at all, but I know they can do it to a Giganotosaurus, which is a pretty big creature. So yeah. Raninata, easily one of the best creatures in the entire game, and easily deserves the spooky tier list on this tier list. Next, we have the Mantis. I'm going to put the Mantis in Alpha Dragon. They're just really good. They're pretty quick, I think. They're decently fast. You're not going to be, super slow on them. They, of course, can leap. And they can also hold, or probably the most useful thing about them is that they hold tools in their hand. For example, like swords, pickaxes, and you can use them to have like clubs to knock out other people. They're a really good creature in PvP and PvE. So yeah, next we have the jug bugs. Now, you can tame the jug bugs, but they're still useful, which is why I have them on this list. I didn't realize how many of the bugs you actually can't tame. This list was originally a lot longer. But these guys are still useful despite not being able to tame them. Because of the water jug bug giving you water, which is very helpful on deserty maps like Scorched. And the oil jug bug, I would say, is actually less useful because you can have an oil pump, or if you're on Extinction or playing Evolved, tech creatures spawn all the time. But I'm going to put these guys in C tier. They're useful. I wouldn't say they're extremely good, but, you know, I wouldn't mind if... There's been plenty of cases, really, where I've, like, needed a water jug bug. And it has saved my life. Or an oil jug bug. It's just nice to get some oil. So, yeah, put them there. Desmodus. Now, I've actually never tamed a Desmodus before. But from what I know, these guys are easily an S tier creature. First of all, they can fly. They can fly in every direction. They have a diving ability. I forgot how strong they are, but they are pretty fast. But their most useful thing about them is, oh wait, they can also go in caves. They're the only flyer that can go in caves normally. But the most useful thing about them is their Sanguine Elixir, which basically just adds, I believe, like 30% taming percentage to anything you're taming, which just really speeds up the process of taming. So yeah, definitely an S tier creature, a spooky creature. They really are a spooky creature, you know? The model of the Desmodus is amazing. It's really scary. It's a giant bat, so yeah. Next we have the Onyx, and I don't really know where to put the Onyx. It's either daunting or frightful. The only reason why I don't think it might be daunting and not frightful is because it can fly. Which I think gives it an edge over the Araneo and Titanoboa. So I am going to put it there, but I think it's barely D tier, daunting tier. I think it's like over here, like I put over here really, but yeah. I'm just going to put it there. You could put it in a frightful tier. I think that's fine, but I'm going to put it in daunting tier literally just because it can fly. So yeah. The Lamantria. I think Lamantria is one of the most hated on creatures in the game for no reason. I think they're a perfectly fine creature for what they are. Basically, all they do is, like, fly around, but, you know, that's all they need to do. There's an easy scout on Scorched. I remember using these guys a lot when I first played Scorched, and so sad when a Megatherium killed it, but that's besides the point. These guys are just... I really like them. I like the Giant Moth, and these guys, I think, do deserve a TLC of some sort, but as of right now, I think they're fine. If you just want something that can fly around and score shirts, especially, they'll be able to get the job done. So, yeah, you can bullet them, although their, like, torpor to health ratio, from my experience, seems awful. So you gotta be very careful when taming these guys. But I think they're just a perfectly fine creature. Not amazing, but, you know, they'll get the job done. So, yeah. The Giant Bee. Now to do research on the Giant Bee, because I've honestly, again, never tamed a Giant Bee. But, basically what they do is that they give you honey, and honey can be used to make a lot of things, or do a lot of things in Ark. First of all, it's used to tame, or, yes, certain creatures like the Diabear and Megatherium, and you have to use it to tame a Lipleurodon. You know, you can make it so lead Zicties don't attack your raft, or, like, will be less hesitant to attack your raft if you put honey on the ground. Honey is, of course, a recipe used for kibble and sweet veggie cake. And it's also, like, it can calm things down, alert things, something like that. I don't really know. It can calm aggressive creatures down, I know that. So honey is actually a pretty good resource, and it's a resource I've actually never used in the game. But, yeah, I'm going to put him A tier just for that, because there are a lot, maybe A tier is still a bit high. Well, you know, sweet veggie cakes and kibble are something you're going to need anyway, so I'm going to put him there. Yeah, they are very good to have, so yeah. Dung Beetle. Now, these guys, kind of like... they're definitely a utility creature. I'm going to put them A tier just because of the fertilizer. It's, of course, good for growing crops, but in PvP, it's really good for growing or fertilizing plant species X, I believe, which is, like, a very great base defense thing to have. So just for that, I'm going to put it maybe, honestly, I think you could argue S tier. I'm going to put him A tier, but, again, Dung Beetle is really good because of the fertilizing ability. So, yeah, you can put them there. Next, we have the Pummel Scorpion. Now, the Pummel Scorpion is my favorite creepy crawly. Unfortunately, they're not that good. I don't know why, but every time I tame a Palm Scorpion, they always die on me. Most of my tames don't usually die on me, like, when I first get them, but I can't keep a Palm Scorpion alive for over an hour or something. So, yeah. But anyway, how good are they? They're fine. They're decently quick, kind of. And of course, their Stinger can be used to knock things out, although it's kind of hard. Usually, you'll do a lot of damage, especially because I believe the more damage you deal, the more torpor. Well, I know the more damage you deal, the more torpor you do. But on Pommel Scorpion, it's like not that good because your Stingers are going to do quite a bit of damage. It's like, it's weird. Honestly, I can talk a lot about it, but at the end of the day, it's just not really that good of a creature. Unfortunately, I really like them. I'll put them in, although same category as the Onyx, I think is a bit harsh. Maybe but I just don't think I can put it C tier. I think these three are just way better. Pommel Scorpion, so yeah, I'm gonna put them there. Next, we have the Bloodstalker. Now, once again, the Bloodstalker is actually a creature I've never used, but from what I know, they're also a very good creature. I don't know why, I just like never use very good creatures in the game. They're very good creature in the game. You literally are Spider-Man on the back of these guys. I believe they walk on water or swim very well. It's like one of those. Whoops. They're extremely fast. You do need to catch on to things, though. They can't, of course, they don't fly. They like web sling everywhere. But they are really good. They are good for PvP. They're good in PvE. They're good for traveling. They are a very good creature, and I do hope when Genesis comes, when Genesis comes to Ark Survival Ascended, I'll be able to tame my first Bloodstalker, so that'll be very nice. Next on the list, we have the Broodmother. Now, the Broodmother is so spooky that she has her own tier to herself. Anyway, next we have the Carcaranos, or the Mr. Krabs of Ark. And these guys are certainly a spooky fella. They look like giant spiders to me. I know they're crabs, but they look like giant spiders to me, and they can pick you up. But in terms of the game, they are very good. They're really good in Aberration for picking up like Ankylosauruses, to have them harvest. You can pick up Stegosauruses to soak bases. You can throw creatures or pick up players or pick up other creatures. They're just a very good creature overall. I'm going to put them in A tier. I think on other maps where you have, especially like around Inata, who can pick up more creatures. Although saying that, you know, the Krakenos can like, or Carcaranos, can harvest. I don't know, it's really good. It's just a really good creature. I don't think it's quite S tier. I think it's still really good though. I think it's a really good creature for harvesting, and they're pretty strong too, so you could use them in the fight. So yeah. Now lastly, we have the Bulldog, and I just put the Bulldog on here because he's very cute. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I should actually just rank them. They're a light pet, so I'll put them there. You know, they're a useful creature. I don't know that really the differences between light pets. I always just tame the Bulldog anyway because I think they're adorable. But yeah, I'm just gonna put them there and chilling. So yeah, anyway, that is the end of this list. I don't know why there's another random Titanoboa there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. And yeah, I thought this would just be a fun video to make in the season of October for, you know, Halloween. Anyway, just thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day. Like and subscribe. Be kind, and bye.